Hey YouTube, Gordon Miller here. Okay, so case study number 3. Okay, so in this third case study, the person that I had the session with last night had a phenomenal opportunity. It was an opportunity to grow their business by 5x. 5x. I loved it. I mean, I think it's a, anytime somebody can acquire an existing business that is doing 3x, 5x, 10x your business, and if the deal is the right deal, then I think it's a great opportunity. I worked with the person in the mentor program with me for like about an hour and a half, maybe more, almost between an hour and a half and 2 hours. In my sessions, I don't really limit it to, an hour. I mean, you're paying for an hour of my time, but typically you're going to get an hour and a half to 2 hours. So it's less about, punching the clock. And I'm not going to say, hey, your hour is up. If you want to keep going, deposit another $250. I mean, it doesn't work that way. But the opportunity, though, was there. The trouble is that the financials didn't necessarily line up with the opportunity, and what was represented on the phone wasn't the reality of it and things like that. So we have a follow-up call tomorrow. We'll find out more, doing some more stuff and continuing to work with them and things like that. But, in this case, great young entrepreneur, in his 30s like I was when things were really kind of, falling into place. And I love working with guys in their 20s and 30s. I really want to share my experience that I've had, good and bad. I mean, look, I want everybody to avoid any of the mistakes I've made along the way. And so what I want to do is I love reviewing deals like this. It's not just a matter of reviewing pitch decks to help you get funded, although, I can do that as well. But these case studies are kind of another way to be able to help you understand the kind of opportunities that are out there. We've talked about government contracting, offshoring, forensic code review, and now we're talking about acquiring a business and whether or not this person should actually buy this business and whether or not it represents a real opportunity or a potential serious risk to he and his family. And so it's a great opportunity. I like helping people try to work through the reality of making those decisions. And, so we'll see. I've reviewed the financials today, it's, there are some positives and negatives, and I guess we'll go into more detail about those. There's some red flags that kind of stand out to me, about that. And there's some things that I actually like. So, I think it's a matter of kind of balancing that out and figuring out what the reality is. But at the end of the day, I think it's really all about trying to help people talk through the mechanics of making a decision. I'm not going to tell you what you should do. I'm going to help you walk through the logic of the situation and say, look, I may say, here's what I might do, or I would do that, but understand the risks. Or I might say, I wouldn't do that. I mean, why would you do that? And, but that's me. I mean, your decision is entirely yours. I mean, that could be something completely different. So, if you are looking at buying a business, and I love this because I know that, when I was helping, some of the other folks who submitted their slide decks for review, I worked with one of the guys at a company called CleanCraft, and he had an opportunity to acquire a competitor and reduce the competition and continue to focus and continue to build out that business. And it looked like a great opportunity. And it was cleaning and servicing private aircraft at certain airports and things like that. Great business model. I mean, it was just a great presentation, good logo. I liked everything about it. I mean, it was a great opportunity. The market for private aircraft travel at that time had changed, pretty dramatically. And I believe he's doing something else now. But it was a great opportunity then. I still think it's a great space. and we had looked at partnering with Signature and some other folks in that space. But I have lots of connections in lots of different areas, and so if you've got an opportunity for a business that you're looking to buy to expand, which would double, triple, quadruple, quintuple, or even 10x your business, then let's put together the right kind of opportunity. I want to use, typically I want to give away more money, but more money that's based on the upside, and rather than you having to come out of your pocket with a significant amount of money. And it saves you money in the upfront side if somebody will do it, especially if it's owner financed and things like that. And so there's really some opportunities here. And I think it's a great time. I mean, any business that has an owner over 69 years old is a good target. And I think that there are lots of businesses out there over the next 20 years that'll end up being acquired because, the idea of generational businesses doesn't really exist much anymore. 80-90% of those businesses are not being passed on to the next generation. The next generation wants to do their own thing. They don't want dad's business, and they don't want to be saddled with that, burden. It's really more burdensome. So the ability to be able to sell that and work out the right deal, kind of makes the most sense. So if you're looking at an opportunity like that, go to gordonmiller.com and book a session, and let's go ahead and figure out how we can get you, get the right perspective on the opportunity and see what kind of deal we can make. Thanks. Appreciate it.